and welcome to day 24 of Shocktoberfest 2023. Today we've got a dark comedy, a little more lighthearted than some of the other stuff that we've had over the past few weeks. We're going to go back to the 80s with 1988's High Spirits. I have a very soft spot in my heart for this film just because we have such an array of cast members and the story is just over-the-top zany madcap humor. So the story is about an old man who has a bed and breakfast castle out in Europe, and it's dilapidated, things are falling apart, they need to renovate it, but the problem is they don't have enough cash to make everything better. So they decide they're going to fudge a few facts and say it's haunted to see if they can get some American tourists to come in and make a little money off of them, while making hokey-pokey horror stuff going on, smoke and mirrors, people, being harnessed up on cables, flying around as ghosts. Eventually, the American tourists catch on, they start to leave, and a big storm happens to knock over their tour bus to get back to the airport. So, they are stuck in the castle in the storm. However, there is one thing going on while the tourists are pretty much stuck at this run-down castle. Some of them start to see real ghosts. Apparently, there were people that were living there hundreds of years ago from the family, the generations of the old man that owns the castle, where a bride and groom, way back a couple hundred years ago, had a fight. And the husband kills the wife. And unfortunately, every night, these ghosts reenact that moment. And there's a married couple from the American tourists that are really just not having a good time with each other. And they fall in love with their respective partners in the ghosts. And a lot of other zany madcap humor happens to follow in the process. That's pretty much the movie. There is a lot that I left out, and I know I say this a lot, but the fact of the matter is, it's one of those movies that if you have not seen it, you need to, because it's hilarious. And because we're talking about streaming services, go see it on Tubi. I believe it's still on there. Otherwise, it's on Pluto. It's on a couple other ones. But then again, this is an 80s movie. So, go to your local video store and rent yourself a copy. Now we're going to be talking about the things that I like and I don't like about the film. Starting off with the likes, I have to mention, like I said earlier, the cast. The cast, they do it so well. I mean, we have Peter O'Toole, the late, great, and just iconic Peter O'Toole, I can't stress that enough, as the old man running the castle, and he's everything he's ever done that I've seen in his career, like just from reliving movies, I mean, phenomenal. I can't think of a movie that he's been in that I don't like. We also have other cast members like Steve Guttenberg, we have Beverly D'Angelo, we have Peter Gallagher, we have Jennifer Tilly, a young Jennifer Tilly, we have Daryl Hannah, we have Liam Neeson, we have, let's see, I'm trying to think of anybody else that I'm missing. Not off the top of my head. So yeah, I mean, you can tell this cast alone has a lot of who's who, especially from the 80s and moving in towards the 90s. And they just have such a great ensemble energy with all the things going on left and right, whether it's with the ghosts, whether it's with, in one-on-one with certain characters. I find the comedic timing perfect. When it comes to things that I don't like about the film, I can't say much. I mean, the whole trope about haunted houses and things like that, it's been done, but at the same time, this was a fun take for the 80s, because in the 80s there were a lot of comedies going on, and when they were doing the dark comedies with horror and whatnot, things like Once Bitten and other movies around that era, I find it amusing, and I feel it's great because, yeah, there is some suggestive moments in the movie, but it's not over the top to the point where you can't show, your family. You can't show, like, kids. I mean, you can. I mean, yeah, there's going to be some double entendres. There's going to be some, tongue-in-cheek humor where a kid's going to go,
I know what they're doing. I know what they mean.
But at the same time, it's one of those moments where you can all sit and laugh together. Because that's what this is. I mean, like with the ensemble cast, it brings the family together. And that's what I enjoy about this film. Alright, now it's time to grade this. I know that I mentioned I have a soft spot for it and everything, and, I don't really have a lot of bad things to say. However, I feel like I've been biased on a lot of these movies. So, in the interest of fairness, as I've said before, I'm going to go ahead and just give this one an A-. I'm going to give it an A- because it is a great movie. It is not perfect, but then again, as Vegeta would say,
you're either perfect or you're not me. There's no gray area.
So yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and give this one an A- for the review, just for principle alone. Well, we hope you enjoyed this episode. Make sure you leave a thumbs up, and if you didn't agree with everything I said, you can leave a thumbs down. I totally understand. Otherwise, make sure you share on social media, but most importantly, you push that little red button and you ring that bell for instant notifications. Until then, I'm Wildman Wes, and we will see you tomorrow for day 25 of Shocktoberfest 2023. We're getting there, folks.